Hello, you gorgeous little munchkins. Here are some books that I am hopefully going to read in the month of February. It's a short month. Today's the 6th, so I'm like halfway through basically. But I just thought I would share them and talk to you about them and why I'm excited to read them. So here we are. So we have a pretty good stack this month. I'm hoping to read, I've already read one book and I'm almost finished another. So including those two, I'm hoping to read 10 books and I have 8 books in the pile, woohoo! I'm just really good at maths and that was totally not a coincidence. So yeah, since it's a shorter month, I'm gonna stick to 10. And also during March and towards the end of March is typically when I tend to have my assessments, and that's when I read the most because I am procrastinating. So also I'm trying out this new lipstick thingy, like hack, I guess you could call it. So if I get lipstick on my teeth, ignore it. You didn't see it, look away. So let's get into the books. The first one we have is Notes on Grief by Chimamanda Adichie. I have had this highly recommended to me quite a few times, and after the books I read last month, one of my coworkers and friends, Renee, told me that I should read this because it's all about grief and loss and longing, and a lot of the books I read last month were like that, and I also really love and gravitate towards books with that kind of subject matter. And I have studied a little bit of Chimamanda Adichie's work before because I did We Should All Be Feminists in high school, because that's like, I feel like the common one that everyone knows of hers. And I'm also hoping to read Purple Hibiscus at some point because I've heard that is really fantastic. So I've heard a lot of good things and I love books about grief and I'm trying to read at least one nonfiction book a month. So this is my nonfiction pick, and yeah, it's a little short, tiny little baby. Look how tiny she is. And she's like, I just put my hand up to the back, but you can't see it. She's like the same size as my hand, like she's tiny. Compare her to, like she's just a little baby. So yeah, I'm excited to read that, and hopefully I can annotate it, but it is a hardback, and the dust jacket is like, it's paper. It's so nice. And typically I don't annotate hardbacks because I don't think I like the look of it as much. Anyway, I'm going to read you the blurb. On 10th of June 2020, the scholar James Nwoye Adichie died suddenly in Nigeria. In this tender and powerful essay, expanded from the original New Yorker text, his daughter, a self-confessed daddy's girl, remembers her beloved father. Notes on Grief is at once a tribute to a long life of grace and wisdom, the story of a daughter's fierce love for a parent, and a revealing examination of the layers of loss and the nature of grief. Grief is a cruel kind of education. You learn how ungentle mourning can be, how full of anger. You learn how glib condolences can feel. You learn how much grief is about language, the failure of language, and the grasping for language. I don't like reading out loud, but we're going to face my fear in this video because I have an eye condition called nystagmus, where basically my eyes rapidly move back and forth, especially if I'm trying to focus on something and not mess something up, which is what's happening now because I'm reading to you guys and I don't like it. Anyway, I should just put my glasses on, but I'm not going to because I have to go out later and I'll get a glasses mark. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to read that. Next up we have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is like a super popular book and I kind of just have major FOMO. I don't know heaps about it. I know generally that it's about grooming and like sexual assault and all that kind of awful stuff. So if this sounds like it's something that would be interesting to you, make sure you look up the trigger warnings because I do think it is pretty graphic. I bought this book in Shakespeare & Co. When I was in Paris. Shakespeare & Co. And I just really want to read it because I'm having like major FOMO. As I said, everyone's read it. So here is the blurb. Vanessa Y was 15 years old when she first had sex with her English teacher. Now the teacher, Jacob Strain, has been accused of sexual abuse by another former student, and a journalist has asked Vanessa to contribute to a story about him. But no one seems to understand that what Vanessa and Strain had together wasn't abuse. It was love, wasn't it? Whoa. So I mean, you can kind of tell where that's going. I'm just really excited to read it. I've heard it's really fantastic and beautiful. And also my stepmom's reading it right now because I have 2 copies, and because I was sent one and then I also bought this. So hopefully we finish it at the same time and then we can have like a little mini book club about it. So yeah, My Dark Vanessa. Next up, I have Paradise Rot by Jenny Val. Val. So the reason I want to read Paradise Rot is because a TikToker I really like her handle is big book lady, and I think her name is Lauren. To be honest, I only know her by a handle. Really, really likes this book and has spoken about it a lot. And I think it's like giving very much like, I've heard it's just really freaky, and I love that. So here is the blurb. Jo is in a strange new country for university and having a more peculiar time than most. In a house with no walls, shared with a woman who has no boundaries, she finds a strange home coming to life in unimaginable ways. Jo's sensitivity and all her senses become increasingly heightened and fraught as the lines between bodies and plants, dreaming and wakefulness blur and mesh. This debut novel from critically acclaimed artist and musician Jenny Aval presents a heady and hypersensual portrayal of sexual awakening and queer desire. And it's also a little short baby, so I feel like I can smash her out in the 28 days. And yeah, I bought this in New York. I bought this at, I hate how American bookstores don't put stickers on the back of their books, so you can't say where you bought it from. It was a McNally Jackson. I think it was the one in Soho. I'm like a New York native. I'm a native New Yorker. Wendy Williams who. I just know everything about everything. I'm pretty sure it was McNally Jackson in Soho. So yeah, next up we have Pet by Akwaeke Emezi, I think is how you say her name. This just came into my bookstore, so I've been wanting to read this for ages, and it literally just arrived on the 3rd in the bookstore that I work at, and it's a YA novel. Oh my god, look at that cover, isn't it gorgeous? Because I've heard so many good things about it, and I just love a bit of experimental YA. So I'll read you the blurb. Pet is here to hunt a monster. Are you brave enough to look? There are no monsters anymore, or so the children of the city of Lucille have been taught. Jam and her best friend Redemption have grown up with this lesson all their lives. But when Jam meets Pet, she begins to question what she's been told. Pet has come to hunt the evil lurking in Redemption's house. But how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? And I think it's about being transgender. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Anyway, I've heard a lot of good things, and this was like one of those early book talk books. Like, it wasn't strictly a book talk book, but I feel like I saw it heaps on book talk before I started making book talk videos. And yeah, I'm just really interested in it, and as I said, I love experimental YA. This is also a really short one. Wow, I've picked a lot of short ones. That's good though, because I can smash them out. So yeah, excited to read that one. Again, I just feel like we need to have one more appreciation for the cover, and also the purple there is the purple on the back. I really like that. Next up, we have Sterling Karat Gold by Isabel Wadner. You're gonna have to excuse me, guys, with these name pronunciations. I'm really bad. I bought this in Daunt Books in England. In which Daunt did I buy it in? I wish more bookstores would put stickers on the back of their books. Like, I hate stickers. I literally have a fear of stickers, and I want stickers on the back of books so that I know where I fucking bought them from. Oh, hold on. Don't worry, there's a bookmark inside. I bought it at Daunt Books Cheapside when I was in London. And I picked it up because it was on a like staff recommendation wall or something, and I love the staff. Like, I mean, any book lover will know that like when you go into a bookstore and you find a really good staff recommendation wall, it's just so exciting. And they had same staff member had recommended a bunch of books that I liked, so I was like, I'm gonna try this one. This is the blurb. Sterling is arrested one morning without having done anything wrong. Plunged into a terrifying and nonsensical world, Sterling, with the help of their 3 best friends, must defy bullfighters, football players, and time-traveling spaceships in order to exonerate themselves and to hold the powers that be to account. Sterling Karat Gold is Kafka's The Trial, written for the era of gaslighting. Wow. A surreal inquiry into the real effects of state violence on gender non-conforming working class and black bodies. Following the Goldsmiths Prize nominated We Are Made of Diamond Stuff, Isabel Wadner's latest novel proposes the community inventiveness and the stubborn refusal to lie low as antidotes against marginalization and towards better futures. Whoa! That was a wordy sentence. But doesn't that just like sound amazing? So I am excited to read that. And also, one of my TikTok mutuals, Fontaine, who I absolutely love and adore, and everything she does I want to do, and I want to copy her, and I want to live inside her brain, recommended this and said she loved it. And so I was like, well, I already have it because I thought I was gonna love it, and if Fontaine loves it, then it's meant to be. So yeah. Next up, we have Tender is the Flesh by Agostina Bazterrica. I have started this. I am 41 pages in, and it is a lot. It is basically a dystopic world where cannibalism has become like the norm because the world ran out of natural resources after like a plague killed all the farm animals, and so they start farming humans instead, which like slay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this purely because I'm not a horror person and this is quite graphic. However, it's so compelling that I want to know where it's going to go. So I know I'm going to get through it, but it's probably going to take me the whole month. So yeah, as I said, I've already started. I will read you the blurb. If everyone was eating human meat, would you? Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, only no one calls them that. He works with numbers, consignments, processing. One day, he's given a specimen of the finest quality. He leaves her tied up in an outhouse, a problem to be disposed of later. But she haunts Marcos. Her trembling body and watchful gaze seem to understand, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still be saved. Anyway, one of my friends, Renee, actually, who recommended me Notes on Grief, read this and really loved it and gave it like a 5 out of 5. So I am gonna read it. I am gonna do it. Like as you can see, I'm 41 pages in. That's where my little dog ear is. And I'm gonna do it. And I'm making this video to hold me accountable. Okay, next we have James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Now, I read Giovanni's Room in December and absolutely loved and adored it. And so many people were telling me to read this one next. So I am going to. I will read you the blurb. James Baldwin said of his writing, I really hate reading out loud. I don't know if you can tell this already. I don't know if I really want to continue doing this because, maybe I should just put the description on the screen. No, I'm going to do it. Drawing on his boyhood in a religious community in 1930s Harlem, he tells the story of young Johnny Grimes. Johnny is destined to become a preacher like his father Gabriel at the Temple of the Fire Baptized, where the church swells with song as if it is the Holy Ghost were riding on the air. But he feels only scalding hatred for Gabriel, whose fear and fanaticism make him cruelly abuse his family. Whoa. Johnny vows that for him, things will be different. This blazing tale is full of passion and guilt, of secret sinners and prayers singing on the wind. So doesn't that sound really good? I'm not religious. In fact, I'd call myself an atheist, and I love reading about religion. So I'm really excited to read that because I love reading about the kind of people who are really religious, like inside their brains. And I love Giovanni's Room. So I'm just so excited to get back into James Baldwin's work. I'm also going to be reading the Beale Street one. I can't remember the full title, but I think it's If Beale Street Could Talk, maybe, later on in the year. But that's because I'm waiting until it comes back into stock at my bookstore so I can buy it with my staff card. So yeah, and also I really like the cover on this one, and because it's a Penguin Modern Classics, like a blue one, it goes nicely on my shelf where all my other Penguin Modern Classics are. So last but not least, we have Shuggie Bane by Douglas Stewart. Now, I have been wanting to read this. I'll hold it up. I've been wanting to read this for so long. It won the 2020 Booker Prize. And I think I don't remember who it was, but someone on TikTok gave this a really good review. I think that I'm mutuals with. And he really liked it. And I was like, I'm really going to like it based on your review. And so yeah, I bought this in November because Stimmix puts stickers on the back of the books. You can actually see the date that it came into the store, which is a little fun fact for you. So I can see that this came into the store on the 21st of November, and I'm pretty sure I bought it like at about that time. I will read you the blurb. 1981 Glasgow, the city is dying, poverty is on the rise. People watch as lives they had hoped for disappear from view. Agnes Bane has always expected more. She dreamed of greater things, a house with its own front door, a life bought and paid for outright, like her perfect but false teeth. But when her philandering husband ups and leaves, she and her 3 children find themselves trapped in the mining town, decimated by Thatcher-era politics. As Agnes increasingly turns to alcohol for comfort, her children try their best to save her. Yet one by one, they abandon her in order to save themselves. Ooh, getting a chill. It is her son Shuggie who holds out hope the longest, but Shuggie has problems of his own. Despite all of his efforts to pass as a normal boy, everyone has started to realize that Shuggie is no right. Agnes wants to be there for her son, but her addiction has the power to eclipse everyone close to her, even her beloved Shuggie. Laying bare the ruthlessness of poverty, the limits of love, and the hollowness of pride, Shuggie Bane is a blistering debut by an exceptional novelist with a powerful and important story to tell. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really upsetting and depressing. It's a biggie. So I'm gonna start it. Oh, that's embarrassing. It's got my hair stuck to it. It is a biggie, so I'm going to try and start reading it soon when I finish the book that I'm currently reading, which is Belladonna by Adeline Grace, which I'm really liking. It's on the floor, that's why I was looking like that. Yeah, so I am going to start reading this as soon as I finish that, because I tend to read like 2 or 3 books at the same time, especially when they're like a tough read. So I'll be reading this and Tender as the Flesh and one other, probably Notes on Grief. So 3 really light and easy books. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. As I said, it won the Booker Prize, so I feel like it must be good. So yeah, those are the books that I am hopefully going to read in December. I love making TBR videos because I do like to hold myself to account. However, I almost never stick to them. So we will see if I stick to them. I'll be back. Oh, wait, no, stop speaking. There's one more. Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's the last book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which actually is just one big book, but then they like separated it into 3. And I prefer to have it separated into 3 because I would not have been able to read that massive chunky Lord of the Rings all in one go, considering it's over 1,000 pages. But I have read the other 2, and I'm how many pages into this am I? Oh, it's hard to say because it's like, it says page 885, because when they split them up into 3, they don't give you like individual book page numbers. It's just like page 885 of the trilogy. So I'm like a good chunk of the way through, like almost halfway. I would say maybe a third, and loving it because it's Lord of the Rings and I really like it. And I'm so excited to finish it and just be done with it, because I started reading Fellowship in November. So like, I'm bordering on 4 months. I need to get it finished. I won't read you the blurb for this because it is the 3rd book, so it will kind of spoil the other 2, but basically just know it's the 3rd book in Lord of the Rings. Those are the books that I am going to be reading in the month of February, hopefully, if I get my shit together and stick to it. That's a really nice color palette, actually. I like all the black and green and blue. And pink, actually. There's a lot of pink in there too. Wow, I love this color palette. Okay. So yeah, those are the books. Thank you very much for being here to chat with me. I've been talking for fucking ages when I was just trying to make a cute little video. I hope you are having a fantastic day and a fantastic week and a fantastic month and a fantastic life. And I hope to speak to you all extremely soon and give you a big kiss on the forehead. Mwah! Goodbye.